Okay, we're going to talk about the Revit conference I went to in May, and basically I took a few workshops, and one of them was called Welcome to May 29, 2044. So it's about 30 years from now. It was presented by these guys here, and in fact I love all their little workshops were really good. They had a couple others that I've taken. And yeah, fun guys. This one here is actually a picture of this guy here. That's me and they belong to, they've got a company called Tourists. They're from America. And this is one of the partners, that's his wife Anne, and that's Mike himself, young Mike. And so I'll just close that. Oops, sorry. It's not happening, close all tabs. All right, let's just get rid of a few other ones while we're here. Why is this not working? Anyway, don't worry about it. It's a problem with this. Okay, here we go. All right, and this one here is the other guy here. Okay, that's young Josh. And again, this is the last night that we were there, and we had dinner and we couldn't let our hair down. Okay, so I'll go on. Why is it? Close all tabs? Close tabs? Alright, pressing the wrong button or what? I don't know what's going on here. Alright, so just keep going. Alright, so basically in 2044 we will have self-driven cars and terabyte internet, so really fast internet, that's the idea. Productivity in 2014, apparently they claim, is less than it was in 1964, whereas what we've been just listening to is saying it should be the other way around, but that's what they're saying. Interesting. They've got their they've got a disclaimer at the beginning which they popped up saying do not make any financial decisions upon what we're saying. Basically, that's a disclaimer I want to say as well. Now, use of BIM in 2014, we used BIM to automatically install things like electrical cables and all that sort of stuff, and embedding them. Because they're automatically in the schedule, you can just embed them in the ground as well. The idea is anyway, and this is happening already in certain projects. Automated wall layout via robots from the building information model, so they will just mark out on the ground where your walls have got to go, and then you come along and you assemble it because it will come already pre-assembled. You just plonk it there. All right, so that's that already happens. All right, all right.
Big Allen key.
A big Allen key. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think IKEA will start selling some buildings, maybe. Oh, right, yeah.
Instead of tents, they're selling buildings to
yes, well, I've seen some of those designs as well that are 3D printed, for disaster relief, and yeah, interesting. Okay, quadcopters will automatically go and pick up pieces of wall and assemble them themselves. All right, so that's I don't know what that's doing there. I think that should be further down in the 2044. 3D printing will improve. Similar to the Chinese concrete house printing example. So I'll just YouTube it and you'll find it. I've shown it to my other students earlier. And I might get an opportunity to show you in another lesson. Okay, BIM will make us more sustainable. There'll be less wastage, less to ship around, and less fuel, less packaging, all that sort of stuff. All right, in 2044, BIM will become the resource for communication, etc. This is actually not the best way of doing it, because as I said, these are the guys. This is their view of what Melbourne will look like in 2044. All right. Who are these guys? I don't know. I thought it was the Flintstones, but apparently it's Jetsons, is it? That's it. Anyway, we'll have driverless cars and that sort of thing. That was the cables we're talking about embedding them and a few gadgets like that. Does anyone know anything about this? I don't know. I don't know what that there. We've got the improvements in all this time. That's the how much we've improved over these years, and fast internet we talked about, Oh, that's a nice tablet. Okay. This is the 1964 example that they're justifying with their figures. Robots, yeah, we've already got this sort of stuff happening around the houses. Vacuuming, automation is already happening in the automotive industry especially, but we're going to see a lot more of that coming into the building industry. All right, so that's check him out. All right, so all this stuff, as I talked about before, being able to lay cables in and automatically build trenches and all that sort of stuff using by programming the machine. I mean, the machines already are doing that. You know, graters, you can already they run by GPS and they're using the data that you download into them to work out the level. You know, the driver is sitting in there, but not necessarily doing anything with it. You know, so it just goes up and down and it just finds the right level. All right, so that's that. Yeah, here the quadcopters we're talking about. These are coming in, but not just from just taking pictures and the use of them in real estate. I already see flying over, take pictures or even video of a proposed of a house that's being sold. So you know, they're going to come into more about actually what they're going to do in the future. He said at the moment they're inverter. They work differently. They'll be sucking air up rather than pushing air down, so that there's less dust on site and that sort of thing. Anyway, that's what they said. All right, so just quickly, 3D printing. That's a 3D printer that everyone can basically have at home. It's only a cheap printer. This is a form of 3D printing with concrete. All right, so that's just concrete being, you know, poured out in a circular motion in this instance to create something. That's the state of construction in 2014, or construction site. All right, and you know, all this wastage and mess, and that's a drawing office, a lot of files, markups, like that. Yep, danger, transporting stuff, as I just mentioned before. You know, a lot of the materials are going to be able to be 3D printed as well on site. Hey, that's the idea, yeah. You know, less danger, and you know, this is taking it a bit far, but this is intergalactic printing. Again, coming back to the fact that we've worked out how to already 3D print most of their stuff on site, so why not be able to do it on Mars or the Moon or whatever? Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so there you go. That's all. They just went for it. They're intergalactic already. All right, so that's that. Now this is more like what the site's going to be in the future. Apparently, these quadcopters bringing in all the just-in-time, bringing in all the materials that you need on site. So there's Clatter, another 3D printing machine. Here's another example of actually a 3D printing device of a house. So it's not a Chinese one, but it's probably another Chinese one. Okay, so here's another one. So at the moment, this is where we are. We're experimenting with different machines and ways of actually doing it, and there'll be more than likely a few different variations and that we're going to end up with. All right, modules coming in. Here we go. This is an excavator, which in fact is driverless. It hasn't got a cabin, and this is futuristic. But the theory is, well, it can work day, night, and you know, it doesn't need anybody. You know, just a matter of programming it. Although someone did make the comment of, gee, I worry when I leave a plot or a 3D printing thing happening overnight, and worried about next morning, you know, what's it done? You know, does the ink run out, or you know, you wonder where this thing is going to end up if there's no one actually supervising it overnight. You know, how much it's going to excavate. But anyway, that's for the future. Don't know what that is. machines. Okay, so this is I think one of the videos or something. I think I read it just before. That's a layout of the walls, but this is actually 3D printing, if you may, of walls. So it's actually you don't have to do it. Even rendering, there's actually a rendering machine. So if you put up a wall, you can actually there's a machine that goes along and just it will render it for you. Anyway, more of that. A lot of the conference, and not just this one here, talked about how you'd be able to build stuff without actually having any connections. This is just brickwork, but this is more demonstrating how a robot can put together something complex a lot easier. But also the way we're heading is also where you don't have any connections or any fasteners and that sort of thing, glues and screws and bolts and that sort of stuff. Actually, you design it so it clicks in together a lot and safely. Well, there is actually something in China. It's a well-known place in China, which is out of bamboo, and there's not one nail in it or bolt. It's just been done. Yeah, well, that was back then, 3D printing from back then. That's where it all happens. All right. So these are the quadcopters of the future, I suppose. There you go. Here's a module coming in for you. All right, Google Glass, I think that one is, to be able to have up-to-date information right in front of you on the construction site. What else? Being able to tell you, warning, open pit nearby, so it warns you on site what's happening. This is the future. Being able to see better at night, that's without having any aid, and that's with being able to see at night better. Hey, put the lights on. No, it's still the same lights. All right, and this is the interesting one. By the architect doesn't have to leave the office anymore to inspect the or supervise or have a look at the site. They'll be holographically be popping out of the supervisor's watch by the look of it. So interesting. Here you go. Some some point cloud stuff in here as well. So that, as I said to some of you before, you'll be able to do the 3D, do the pour. So before you do the pour, you'll be able to scan the place, and a lot of iPads will be used on on site to walk in. And what you do, and I'm not sure if we're going to have a picture of this, but as you're walking through it, what it sees, it actually overlays the actual model on top of it. So that's another way of checking if things have been put in the right spot. You might have an empty room, and you can just go look, and if you say installing your lab benches in there, you have the lab benches on your iPad, and by moving around, you can see the bench in the empty room in situ, and you can see if it's been put in the right spot, and things are going to line up. As I said, as well as before you pour something, you can take a scan, put it into your model, and get the clashes out before they actually pour. So it's tradespeople. That will be the tradespeople of the future. Basically, yes, there'll be skilled people, but they won't be necessarily in carpentry. They'll be more skilled in actually programming the machines. Business process. What else is there that's interesting here? That's it. What's this guy here? All right. Well, that's the guys there. All right. Questions? No. All right. So that's that's basically that one there. CNC printing, that will happen. Yes, that's part of the 3D printing family now. Autodesk Reality 3D printing to masses. Yes. All right. What else was there? The future of BIM collaboration. Work sharing or glorious gadgets. This is interesting here. A few gadgets we had a look at there. Let's just have a look. Point cloud scanner prototype to plug into your iPad to scan into. So there is a prototype already, and they had that there at the conference. So through your iPad, collaboration. That's something else. Converts into a couple of different formats or something. The other thing is, and I'm not sure if we're going to come to it. We probably will. It might be here, but in the future, you saw those little quadcopters running around. They'll also be used for point scanning. At this point in time, you did see the recap where you took a whole lot of photos. In the future, you'll be able to use the quadcopters to just race inside the house a lot easier, or inside the building and outside, and take a whole lot of point cloud data, I suppose, and without the need of actually having to have a station as such. It'll just happen a lot easier. It'll just a matter of taking these things, just running through, videoing the place, and will come back instead of video, will come back as point cloud. So that's the sort of stuff they're working on at this point. So the whole landscape of everything we know now would change in the near future, including surveying, especially surveying, in fact, because in the past few years, with the point clouds coming in, has been it's been a huge uptake in that area, and how we can use it and where we can use it. And you're seeing a few examples today. So your job is very important in the future of construction anyway, and other areas obviously. But let's have a look at a couple of these pictures I've got here. Glorious gadgets, okay. This is not going to work. Okay, this is Google Glass. I've got a video of that, and that's better. That's where you wear these Butte glasses, and you're wired up to the programming. You actually, when you're looking down, you're inside the building, but the digital building, and you're looking around, and you're actually seeing things. And there's a demonstration of that. I'll show you that now. Okay, it's virtual reality basically. Yeah, it's called. What's the name of it? It's called. There you go, Oculus Rift. That's the name of the thing that the piece of hardware as such. Just in case, it's obviously 3 pictures of that. So let's go with the video. Computer having a heart attack. It's going to come. You can do it. No, it's not. Where is it? It's probably. I'm not sure where it is. I'll find it. Oh, here it is. It's in the background. View, fit to screen. Just play that. It's about 30 seconds. So that's this guy here looking down, see him? That's him doing it. That's so that's my Butte videoing at the conference. Oh, there you go, we'll just close that. Yeah, so designing a template, that's you're not interested in that. Okay, so all about the data. Okay. Okay. Infraworks for building designers. It's some relationship to what you guys do. Infraworks can work partly off a desktop and off the cloud. There's 2 different types, but it's only one real. Here we go. So these are just what you're looking at there is basically I was at the much like you're sitting here listening to me, and I had my laptop and I was just typing. I really didn't do any changes to this. As I was listening, I was just typing. So these notes are a little bit cryptic at times, but I just saw something there before. Yeah, it's Okay, I think. Yeah. All right. So, what I just alluded to that before. I think there's a an image that shows that. I'm not sure which image it is. Oh, okay. Here we are. Images. There's a few images there. Let's have a look at them. This is Infraworks, which is basically a bit like Civil 3D, but in sort of more in the cloud sort of realm, more like the BIM. It's interesting here. Here you go. Think BIM and GIS rather than BIM versus GIS. The two technologies aren't competitive, but rather complementary. We will much more likely say BIM and GIS rather than BIM versus GIS. So it's a question of scale, it says. So as we all know, obviously, in a building, it's just a baby GIS, and then you put the building on the site, and it becomes GIS. All right, so it's.
Yeah, from what I can see of it, it's a kind of GIS.
Yeah, well, it is a kind of GIS.
It's not like it is different things that layer on top of each other with information and space and locations.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely, that's what it is. So, I mean, with the GIS, you're just getting general information, but geographic, so then you can go into it even further if you had a building that's already, and yeah. So this is a potential workflow using this software called Infraworks. Can't see it from there very well, but anyway, it demonstrates Infraworks, and it goes into Civil 3D, then it goes into Navisworks and that sort of thing. So that's what that is. That's about it on that one. All right. So basically, that was the last sort of lecture we did. So I'll leave that one there. How do you stop this thing?